All right, we will get started in just a second. A couple of more people are logging in. You should be, as I said, you should be seeing a welcome screen and maybe a little picture of me in one of your corners. And if you can see my mouth moving but can't hear anything, then click at the bottom. There's a menu. That's also a place where you can ask questions as well. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get started. I've got a little after 2 o'clock. I value your time, so I want to keep this session to about 30 minutes and allow for some time at the end for question and answer based on the questions that get submitted into the chat box. And stay tuned to the end. One of the reasons I want to keep it brief is there are a couple of tips and a couple of takeaways that you can use. And I'm also recording this session, and I will send that out to you in case you do have to drop off or want to review any of the material. So with that being said, let's dive into today's webinar. The new Facebook, how does it affect our church communication? Before we dive into the content, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mark Wilson, and I'm the founder and chief strategist for Church CMO, a consulting firm that helps churches and faith-based nonprofits to take their next steps to increase the effectiveness of their internal and external communication. Prior to starting Church CMO, I served as the director of communications for one of the largest and fastest growing United Methodist churches in the country here in Knoxville. If you want to find out more about Church CMO and how we can help your church, check out our website at churchcmo.com or follow myself or Church CMO on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have a podcast and blog titled Breaking Through that you can find on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. I've put all those on the slide, which you'll have when I send you out a copy of the recording, as well as the takeaways. So let's get started. What has changed about Facebook? It's gotten everybody so upset. Well, Mark Zuckerberg made a statement about 3 weeks ago on his goals for Facebook, and it sent shockwaves through the marketing community immediately. On January the 11th, in an announcement, he stated, "We built Facebook to help people stay connected and bring us closer together with the people that matter to us." You know, I remember when Instagram and Facebook posts were all chronological. You followed people to see their content, and that content was shown to you in the order that it was meant to be seen, which was the order that it was posted. Strategies were a lot less complicated. Control was with the user, and all was good within the social media world. Then boom, all of a sudden, in about 2016, we started hearing about the infamous Facebook algorithm and the changes they were making to it. So Facebook and Instagram began to limit your reach to about 30% of your total followers on average, and it allowed the algorithm to decide what content should be displayed in your news feed, and voila, social media was forever changed. Free-flowing content turned into regulated content, and the reach of business profiles was reduced to as low as 10% as of the end of 2017, causing businesses large and small to begin to pay for ads just so that their content could be seen. So what are these changes? Well, the reality is we haven't been given a lot of specific details about the scope of the changes and their actual implications. Most of the information we have comes from Zuckerberg's statement on January 11th and some follow-up commentary from other Facebook department heads in the days that have followed. Some reports speculate that the organic reach of a Facebook post for a business page, an example, a text only or a text with a still photo, will be reduced to reaching only about 4% of your total followers. So just break that down. If you've got 100 followers, any particular post that you make on Facebook could see as few as 4 people. Now, in Zuckerberg's announcement, he goes on to say, I'm changing the goal I give our product teams from focusing on helping you find relevant content to helping you have more meaningful social interactions. Make a note of that, meaningful social interactions. Adam Mosseri, the head of Facebook's newsfeed team, said that with this update, we will also prioritize posts that spark conversations and meaningful interactions between people. To do this, we will predict which posts you might want to interact with your friends about and show these posts higher in your newsfeed. These posts that inspire back and forth discussion in the comments and posts that you might want to share and react to, whether that's a post from a friend seeking advice, a friend asking for recommendations for a trip, or a news article or video prompting lots of discussion. So one of the first changes is they want to promote conversations. As you noticed, both men stated or used the phrase meaningful interactions. So what type of page posts create meaningful interactions? Well, Mosseri goes on to say that page posts that generate conversation between people will show higher in your newsfeed. For example, he gives live videos often lead to discussion among viewers on Facebook. In fact, live videos on average get 6 times as many interactions as regular videos. These interactions are post likes, shares, and comments. And we're getting the indication that the heaviest weighting will be given to comments because remember, it's about creating meaningful interactions with our post or creating and promoting conversations. A second thing that has changed is that Facebook has made it a stated objective to clear the clutter and unwanted posts from our news feeds. The clickbait and those engagement bait posts and those never-ending brand posts from products that you'll never use will be a welcome relief because their intention is to sort those out of our news feed again so that we can see posts from our friends and family that are creating meaningful interaction. That's why I think this is positive for the church because it should give us more space to have conversations with people, to help them engage with the gospel. And the key word is creating conversations. Mark Zuckerberg said it, as we roll this out, you'll see less public content like posts from businesses, brands, and media. And the public content you see more will be held to the same standard. It should encourage meaningful interactions between people. The bottom line is he wants to put the social back in social media. And he stated he wanted to create a platform that his children will want to use in a few years, which is interesting. So, what do these changes really mean for the church? I think first, here's a slide that has some examples of those engagement baiting, clickbaiting posts. For example, I think you might have noticed if you're on Facebook now, some viral posts are going around. If if you want to see more of my posts, please click like and add a comment or say hello, or, those kind of things. And over time, Facebook is going to even weed those out through artificial intelligence and their machine learning. Their algorithm will identify those as clickbait and won't consider them as meaningful interactions. So you hopefully won't see many of those as well. So let's go back to the changes, or what these changes, the implications for us as church communicators. I think first we need to understand the role Facebook plays in communication. It's not a one-stop shop for everything we communicate, particularly now with these changes. Social media is a place for reaching an external audience. It's a chance to start relationships online. It's not a place for the Methuselah Sunday School class to promote its annual bake sale and to put that announcement in there on the church's Facebook page. And actually, this is the kind of post that will only reach, the bottom 4% of your followers. Facebook groups will be given more importance for that type of internal announcements. And actually, that would be the perfect place for the Methuselah class to have a Facebook group for their Sunday school class to share information and announcements, because each member of the group will see all the posts and they will be notified when a post is made in that group. So that will be a new part of our strategy, is using our Facebook pages for external communication and to create conversations and, again, meaningful interactions. And then using our groups, small groups, Sunday school classes, ministry teams, to have those internal conversations, internal announcements. We produce new content every week. That's one advantage the church always has over a lot of the businesses and commercial businesses and brands. But the question is, how do we use it to generate conversations? I think one advantage of these changes in the algorithms that Facebook is implementing will be that it will take the pressure off creating a large quantity of posts just to try to be seen through all the junk. A strategy last year was you had to create Facebook posts every day, throughout the day, just with the chance that your audience, might see one or two of them. Now, I think with our timelines cleaned out, it will give us a chance to emphasize quality over quantity. Because remember, we're looking for posts that generate meaningful interactions. I really think this is an opportunity for churches and pastors to continue the sermon experience by offering a forum to discuss your points in more detail from your weekend sermon, and to answer questions and clarify understanding. It's that opportunity to have the water cooler conversation around what you preached about. And it's still an external conversation because it can reach beyond our congregational followers if they can provide a little help. And that's a third part of our strategy of how we need to approach the new Facebook, is we have to train our congregations how to become influencers. I dare say most, if not all, of your followers are members of your church. So the question you might be asking is, how do we reach new people then if our followers are all church members? Well, our people first have to have meaningful interaction with our church posts by liking and commenting and then sharing the post. And then if there is a thread of comments surrounding a particular post, then when that post is shared, it will reach more of the sharer's population of followers. So that's how the exponential reach of a post can start conversations with new people as our followers share it with their followers. And again, if a post is shared that has a fairly healthy comment thread, then that in and of itself sometimes will register or gain somebody's attention to take a look at what their friend just shared and what everyone's talking about. So that's how a post can get exponential reach, simply with comments and shares. We're always asking our folks to invite people to church. And as well as I do, most don't. But this is a way for us to be digital evangelists, if you will, even if it is a little passive aggressive. It still can help us push our conversation and share the gospel with new people, or at the very least, garner a little bit of their attention. Another aspect of our strategy in terms of translating this for our use as a church is we have to embrace video, particularly live video. Now, I'm not talking about creating a video studio with cameras and lights and makeup, and if you have one, great. But most of our smartphones and tablets and iPads have a high definition camera that shoots video very simply, that can create social media video posts of a high quality. And this can create a great opportunity to have a regular time for discussing your sermon in a Facebook Live post, or to show some fun event going on with the kids or youth. At the end of our presentation, if you hang on till the end, I've got some tips on how to use Facebook Live. So, Facebook can really become a teaching tool for both discipleship and outreach. It gives us a chance to extend our sermon, to extend the teaching, to continue the conversations around our content every week. And it gives us, again, if we use video, it will help us reach out to new people, and it helps our congregation to participate in a tangible way as digital evangelists, and we can continue to cast a vision for our people to invite their friends to church, not only by picking them up on the way to church on Sunday morning, but inviting them to join the conversation around our teaching and around what it means to follow Jesus, and even who Jesus is. A great example of an opportunity coming up for use of video on Facebook and Facebook Live are our Lenten season coming up, starting with Ash Wednesday. A lot of people don't understand the significance of Ash Wednesday and how it relates to Lent and what Lent is. So we can shoot a quick video, either live or recorded, and post it to not only invite people, if you have an Ash Wednesday service where you impose ashes, but to explain to them the significance of Ash Wednesday, what Lent means and what it is, and the significance of our preparation for Easter. And the same holds true with Holy Week. If your church offers a Monday, Thursday service, or a Good Friday service, explain what the significance of those services are. As a matter of fact, do everybody a favor and define what Maundy means and how that is significant in our celebration of Easter. So it gives you a chance to not only invite people, but you can have a forum where you can educate people on our traditions, so that they can be prepared and understand what they're walking into when they come to church. And again, create a conversation so that people can ask questions. You can have a dialogue. Remember those two words. You can have a meaningful interaction around the content. And I think that would be very meaningful for people to have those conversations and understand some of our traditions and some of our rituals around Holy Week and throughout the year. It's a great way for us to have conversations with even unchurched people and help them kind of understand and break through some of our codes. Because, the church is we are very, very skilled at creating internal jargon and a good acronym. So we can translate. We can use video to translate a lot of that. So that's just one example of how we can use video on Facebook to have meaningful interactions, and again, to help us share the gospel with people in our community. How Church CMO can help. Just a little quick plug for what we do. We can help churches build a strategy that fits your church. What is your culture? What are your communication goals? How can we tailor a strategy to use social media to speak not only to your congregation, but to your community? We also want to help train your teams, so your staffs, your volunteers, in how to implement a social media and a communication strategy, to help leverage the tools like Facebook to get your message across clearly and to a new audience. We also have a tool we call Social Managers, Church CMO Social Manager. That it's a software that helps us manage our social media communication, as well as understand who our digital audience is and some of the best ways to reach them. And then coming soon, we're going to offer quality video content, a lot of which is designed specifically for social media interaction that can use, as well as video announcements and such for your church during worship and throughout the week. Feel free to connect with us. Again, check our website at churchcmo.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also at Church CMO, we have a Facebook group called the Communicators Cohort, which is a place for church communicators gather to share ideas, share information, and we have a video meeting once a month to address issues that are going on, like the changes with Facebook, as well as bringing in special speakers. So feel free to check all that out. Now, here's one of the tips I promised at the beginning. One great way to make sure our messages are seen, at least by our internal audience, which is kind of step one, is to make sure that our church members that follow our church Facebook page see all of our posts, is through a notification called See First. So if you go to your church's Facebook page and you click on the following tab, it will bring a drop down and you'll see the See First notification. If you click on it, it will check it. And what that means is that anytime the church makes a post, your followers will see it at the top of their news feed. They'll see it first. So, that ensures that people will see your Facebook posts that follow you and that have clicked this designation. This is a great way, again, during the winter, particularly, to implement this strategy is with inclement weather. Whenever we have a snow day, we communicate it everywhere we can, including Facebook. And this would ensure that if the church were to close for a inclement weather, then, or to change their hours for a particular program during the week, then this would ensure that your people would see this if it was posted on Facebook. So that's kind of a good way to couch it. That, hey, this is a little tip for you to help us be better communicators. So, and that leads back to what we talked about a few minutes ago about quality posts over quantity. So, we don't want to get spammy with our post if we're asking our followers to click see first so that they see all of our posts, because we don't want to turn them off. So this is what it looks like on your computer screen. The next slide is from a mobile settings. It's the same. It just looks different. You just go to following on your, you go to the church's Facebook page on your mobile device, on your mobile app, click following, and it'll pull up a screen, get notifications, and then you just click the see first, just as it's shown. I think this is iPhone, but it looks the same on Android as well. So that's a great little tip to ensure that people see our post. Now, we've talked a lot about video, and Facebook Live is a great way for us to video. And for some people, it's a little intimidating. So here's some best practices, some 5 best practices for Facebook Live. And I'll quickly go through those, and these will be in your email later today when I send out the recording and these notes. So the first tip is introduce the video topic and yourself multiple times for at least a minute to keep saying hello to people as they come in. Because if you don't understand exactly how Facebook Live works, when you go live on a post, Facebook then sends notifications out to your followers. And again, if somebody's listed you as see first, then they should see it fairly quickly that you are live. So that's why you want to give people a chance to join you. And it's a great way to interact, to say hello. You will be able to see as people log in, you'll see names scroll on your screen, so you can say hello to people and interact with people. Because again, even with a video, you want to generate meaningful interaction. Tip 2 is keep your video visually dynamic by moving around. Even if you're sitting in a chair, swivel around, get up, walk around. And again, you can easily do this just by holding your smartphone and using it that way, or your iPad. But try to keep it active. Maybe even walk around your office, walk through the church. Third is talk for more than 10 minutes, as you'll get more and more people, viewers, as the video gets rolling. So if you introduced everything that's awesome in the beginning, then people who come later won't know what's happening. So, continue to reemphasize your message and your main points over and over again. And again, if people that jumped on earlier, they'll understand that rhythm and see that rhythm, and they will, have gotten your point and will ease off, and new people coming on will then have a chance to hear and engage with what you're talking about. Fourth, this is my favorite. If you mess up, acknowledge it. Just keep going. Embrace that it's live. It's fun. It's okay to be vulnerable and transparent, because people really engage with that, and it's just it's a great way because Facebook, again, is a social platform. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that's one of my favorite tips. And then again, ask your viewers to share, like, and comment to increase your video's reach. Again, we talked about meaningful interaction. So if you can create a comment thread, then, more and more people will get notifications and will see the post. And with Facebook Live, you can create a video that will post later. You can tell Facebook Live to save it and post it to your timeline so that people can view it later, which is a great feature as well. Sometime soon we will do a Facebook Live training to dig into more detail. And again, today was just an introduction to the changes that Facebook is making to its platform, and we're still waiting to hear over the coming weeks and months what those specific changes will look like and how they're going to affect us. But I think it's important for us to start thinking about how we're going to use Facebook going forward. And as I stated in some of the promotion for this webinar, I think it's a positive thing for the church because it will help clean out people's timelines from some of the junk and give us an opportunity to talk and create conversations with people as long as we are generating content that provides a meaningful interaction. Those two words, keep coming back. So I'm going to unmute you guys and just see, because nobody mentioned any questions in the chat box. Let me see if I can unmute everybody. Okay, great. I've unmuted everybody. So if you have your microphone on, you got a question, go ahead and introduce yourself and ask, or if not, we'll close out and have a great week. But the floor is open. Anybody? Going once? Going twice? All right. Well, I thought I would give it a shot. Fantastic. Guys, I went a little over. I apologize, but I wanted to keep it brief. I didn't want you on here for an hour or an hour and a half webinar to talk about these changes, because I want to build on it. I want us to continue this conversation. And again, at Church CMO, our commitment is to work with our churches to create communication that will help our churches engage with our current congregation as well as reach a new audience. So, I will introduce and promote and keep you guys in the loop for upcoming training and webinars with not only myself but other professionals in the market, so that we can do the absolute best job presenting the gospel in our communities. And that's the bottom line, is introducing Jesus to people that need to meet him. And on that note, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to connect with us on Facebook at Church CMO, and check out our Facebook group, Communicators Cohort. If you want to request membership, I can get you approved, and that'll be another great resource. Guys, have a great week and have a wonderful Lent season. See you soon.